Gilmore III. I will be your instructor. I am an executive director with this firm. And we're just going to wait for everybody to come on the line here. It looks like we have about 2 lines open. Looks like we have a big call tonight. Around 95 people here tonight. That's excellent. And all right, looks like we're ready to go. Okay. Now, you probably responded, if you're on this call, you was maybe told by a friend about this opportunity. You responded to an ad online on Craigslist about how you can earn anywhere from $300 to $900 a day taking inbound calls. Or you may have responded to a classified ad in your local newspaper or magazine ad as well. And lastly, you may have received a direct postcard in the mail about the opportunity to earn $300 to $900 a day working from home and taking inbound calls. So today I'm going to go into the industry that we're in, the product that we sell, and I'm going to elaborate a little bit more about the different ways to generate income with this firm and what we do. Now, as we see here, the company and the firm that I'm involved in is called yourleadnetpro. Now, we are in the lead generation industry, and what we do is we have the fastest and most powerful lead generation system online on the market today. In fact, we sell high-quality business-to-business leads to individuals, and we also make money selling the system as well for a very high commission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right in and show exactly what this system can do and then explain how we get paid as well. One thing we know that when it comes to business, leads are the bloodline for any business. If you don't have leads, you don't have customers. If you don't have customers, you don't have a business, and you need advertising to do that. So let's jump right in. Now, let's say, for example, that I'm in insurance, and I need leads for insurance. Well, our software is able to gather leads from 6 sources, which is Yellow Book, Merchant Circle, Google, Yahoo, Craigslist, and Backpage. Now, Yellow Book and Merchant Circle are directories. Google and Yahoo are search engines. Craigslist and Backpage are classified ads. Depending on the kind of leads you want will determine which of these platforms you decide to use. But let's say, for example, we use Google, and let's say you're in insurance and you need leads for insurance. So we're going to type insurance here, and we're going to extract leads. And this software operates on the same platform as Google. So if you went to Google and typed in Los Angeles Lakers, Google will send out search boxes all over the internet. It's going to find that term, extract that term. It's going to generate a list of websites by relevancy in regards to Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the system operates the same way, but instead of looking for a generic term like that, it only generates leads. And it can generate leads in any industry by email and phone number. And as we see here, we have 760 email addresses and 669 phone numbers. Now, the way that this system is able to derive that information is that as we speak, there are many individuals that are going online and they're filling out websites and they're opting into a different product or service. They're requesting information. So, for example, if we went to Progressive, a capture page is something like this, where they would have to type in their zip code, their name, their email, and they're going to type in their accurate information because they are requesting information from that company about their service or their product. So every time an individual fills out a form and they're looking for insurance, or they're looking for auto repair, or they're looking for nutrition, this system every 15 minutes has the ability to suck out that information and present it to you in real time every 15 minutes. So these are fresh leads. And that's how we're able to generate so many leads at a time. As we're speaking, people are filling out forms for insurance online, and they're inquiring about insurance. We have the ability to get that information. So going back to this example, let's say that those leads was not enough. There wasn't enough quantity of leads for me. So I would like to generate more leads. Well, I will simply type in insurance again and then click extract leads. Now, this time the system is going to go even deeper into the internet, and it's going to generate more and more leads. In fact, it's going to combine this list to the previous list I already extracted. And if I was to do this 5 or 10 times, I would generate anywhere from 5 to 10,000 fresh leads of individuals who are looking for insurance. And what's nice about this is that I could even target it by zip code, and I can target it by city and state of the individuals on this list that are looking for insurance. So I'm going to stop it now. Now, as you see, I have 2,258 emails and over 1,000 phone numbers. So as we see, that was about a 100% increase. Now, allow me to have a moment here and show you exactly how these leads look. All I will simply do is click download CSV file, and it's going to come up here. And what's nice about this system is that all the leads that are generated, what happens is the leads are neatly expressed in an Excel spreadsheet in which you will be able to open it and take a look at those leads. So let's do that right now. All right, so we see it's pulling up here. Okay. Now, you'll notice that with the leads, it's set up where the phone number's on the left, and we also have the website and the actual website location that we were able to derive the information from. Meaning we can verify with each lead that these individuals were indeed looking for insurance and they were not looking for auto repair. So we could actually verify where we have the leads from, and that's why we can guarantee these leads are above 90% accurate, because we could verify the exact location on the internet that that individual filled out that information. And as we see here, we have 1,439 phone numbers, and same thing for the emails as well. Let me go back up here. So that's how they look. You don't have to be an Excel master, and everything's already neatly lined up by yourleadnetpro. Now, there are a number of ways to generate income with what I just shared, and I'm going to share the most lucrative way by far that my particular team and those on this call here will most likely be a part of my team. And I'm going to share for you the strategy that we have been using to generate even more income than selling the system. And then we'll also touch on selling the system as well. So I'm going to jump right into the 3 ways in which you can generate income with this technology. Now, one thing that we noticed is that in this industry and in business, we see that there's a big push of helping small businesses. In fact, I have an article here by Forbes magazine. It says, meet the fastest growing company ever, Forbes.com. And some of you guys may or may not be familiar with a company called Groupon. Well, Groupon was founded by a 29-year-old kid that was actually in music, and he created the idea of where pretty much he's able to use the internet to bridge a connection between traditional brick and mortar retailers and give them an online presence and reach online consumers. So he would have his deal of the day, in which that deal of the day would reach thousands of customers and thus drive more traffic to that local restaurant. And of course, Groupon would make a profit as a result, and this is why they're the fastest growing company ever. Unfortunately, we don't make any money as a result of any of that business because Groupon does not allow us to invest in Groupon at this time. But we see the same thing with Living Social and other companies as well. It's a big industry. Now, what I was discussing with my partners, actually gentleman that showed me this firm about 4 months ago, we developed a strategy to take advantage of this same system and generate income using our technology. And what we discussed is that, first of all, we know that the restaurant industry is struggling, first of all. And you can look anywhere in the news, you see that across the country, restaurants feel the pinch by the New York Times. We have here the Press Enterprise, restaurants feel the economy's pinch. We have ABC News, hard times are on the menu at restaurants. And we have Inc. magazine, restaurant owners are struggling. So we see very clear that restaurants need help. But one thing that was noteworthy to me in regards to the ABC article, it states here in the second paragraph, whether or not the rest of the economy is in a recession, the restaurant industry certainly is, says Ron Paul, former presidential candidate. So we know that the restaurant industry is struggling right now and it's not doing well. And let me exit out here. and we see that's pretty evident. So what we've done is we developed a strategy that not only can we profit a great deal as a result of the facts about how the restaurant business is hurting, we can guarantee any restaurant we can take them from closing their doors one day, and in 24 hours they can have more customers than they can handle. All right, in 24 hours we can make that guarantee, and we're actually doing it. Let me jump right in and show you how that would work. So let's say I go to New York using the Yellow Book directory, and I'm going to look up every pizzeria in New York. Now I'm not going to keep the extraction running forever because it will. If any of you, I'm from New York. If any of you guys from New York, you know how the pizzeria pretty much every block. But we see here that we have the 585, 315, 845, 518. So we see these are definitely pizzerias in New York. You can look up those zip codes, those area codes rather, and you will see that indeed those are New York area codes. New York Pizza, Cam's Pizza on Pinyan. So we're going to stop this here. You see I have 200 phone numbers. Now we know that all 200 of those pizzeria owners that are in business right now would love to increase their business anywhere from 200 to 300%, especially if you can guarantee that in a 24-hour period. So not only with this yourleadnetpro can I extract every business listing in America and leads on demand, but I also have the capacity to contact the very same leads I generated with the system. And one way that I'm going to use that for this example is using our phone broadcast system. And what this allows me to do, this phone broadcast, it allows me to send thousands of calls to multiple phone numbers at any time. And I can send thousands of them. So for example, how I would work this is that for this campaign, I'm going to change the caller ID that shows up on the pizzeria's phone to Lamar Marketing. In fact, put lamarmarketing.com. And I'm going to change the number that shows up to one of my 1-800 numbers. So put 1-800-852-6598. And I actually have the ability to choose when I would like the calls to go out. I'm going to call them between 2 and 5 p.m. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is that every pizzeria, if you call after lunch before dinner, it's normally going to be less busy, and we're going to be able to reach the owner. So by it being less busy, it's a greater potential that we'll be able to reach decision makers, and that's who we're looking for. So I'm going to call between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And for a transfer number, I'm going to put my direct number. And the reason I would do that is when I send these calls to these owners and they like what I have to say and they press 1, immediately they'll be transferred to me in my home office or my cellular phone, and I'll be able to have a conversation with them. Now my transfer number can be different than my caller ID number, but nevertheless, if the owner presses 1, he will have the ability to speak to me directly. And let's say, for example, I had 2,000 pizzerias phone numbers. If I spent a little bit more time and did that. So I'm going to make this call at a rate of 10,000 calls per hour, which means I'll be able to call 2,000 pizzerias in about 15 minutes. Okay, so that's why I'm going to put 10,000 calls per hour. And when I call these pizzerias, I'm going to deliver a very simple message. And the message is going to be similar to this. Like, hello, my name is Lamar Gilmore from Lead Master Business Systems, contacting restaurants in the New York area about a new lead generation system that can guarantee a stampede of customers to your restaurant, which will increase your cash flow by 200 to 300%. Now, if increasing your revenues that much does interest you, then listen closely. Other restaurants across the country have already taken advantage of this system, and they're experiencing more customers than they can handle as a result of it. Now, we can do the same thing for you. In fact, we can guarantee by this time tomorrow a significant increase in your customers. Now, to learn more, simply press 1, and I'll personally explain how we can do this today. Press 9 if you would like to be removed from our system and you will never receive a call again. However, keep in mind, there is no cost, there is no obligation to find out. I guarantee this will not be a waste of your time. So this is what happens. We send these calls out to 2,000 pizzerias. And let's say, for example, that let's talk about Vinny's Pizzeria in New York, one pizzeria that I've worked with personally. So let's go to Vinny's Pizzeria. Now, let's say you're Vinny from Vinny's Pizzeria. You're a small business, and as we see, it's not a large shop at all. And let's say it's 3 p.m., you're going over your daily receipts, and it's not going too well. Now, it looks like that it's going to be another month that you barely broke even, if that, and things are not going too well. And you receive a phone call about how you can increase your revenue by 200 to 300%, and that we can demonstrate this by the next day, and it will not cost you any money to simply find out more information about how you can increase your business in these hard times. And the question is, do you think that Vinny would pick up the phone and press 1? Of course he would. Right? Any business owner that's not doing well is always looking for ways to generate more customers and to generate more business to the bottom line. So Vinny presses 1 on the phone, and he's transferred directly to me. I say, Vinny, now, I already contacted every pizzeria in the Brooklyn area of your particular region about 10 minutes ago. But just to expand your mind for a moment and to give you a perspective of what we can do, what if I was to contact every business in your zip code and the surrounding zip codes? I was to contact them 1 hour before lunchtime at 11 a.m., and I was to deliver your best lunch promotion. So just to give you an example, Vinny, and to give you a perspective, I'm looking on my computer here, and according to Google Maps, it appears you're in the 11211. Well, I'm going to call every business in the 11211, every business in the 11222, every business in the 11206, and every business in the 11205. So those are all the surrounding zip codes of your pizzeria. So you're looking about anywhere from 10 to 15,000 businesses just in those 4 zip codes alone. Well, I'm going to contact 10 to 15,000 businesses with office workers at exactly 11 a.m., and I'm going to inform them about your buy one slice, get one free. Or I'm going to inform them about your meatball parmesan sandwich, which is normally $7. It's only $2.50 if they come between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. Or I'm going to even inform them about your Caesar salad special and have a free drink on the side. So, Vinny, whatever special you think is the most appealing, I will be able to contact 15,000 businesses at 11 a.m. in your area about your special. Now, Vinny, do you think that would increase your traffic, or do you think that it would not increase your traffic? And, of course, it will increase. In fact, the question that Vinny would have is, okay, I see that this is powerful, but how can you do it? And one thing that we've noticed here is that Vinny, and we've done this about 5 or 6 times already for the pizzerias in New York, Vinny would go from selling 16 pieces at lunchtime to 82 pieces at lunchtime. So you're looking at a increase of 300 to 500%. Remember, that's what we guaranteed on the first call that we made. So we've seen pizzerias go from selling 16 pieces at lunchtime to 82 pieces at lunchtime. And let me show you why that's so effective. Our team got together and found out that there were 3 reasons why we were seeing such great results. Number 1, we're demographically targeting office workers, okay, people that go to lunch. So we're not calling stay-at-home moms. We're not contacting farmers. We're contacting people to go to lunch every day. And we're also geographically targeting. We're calling them within 5 miles of the business. These are people that don't have a problem either going there 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius. They can either drive there or they can call and have it ordered. And third, they're chronologically targeted, calling them 1 hour before lunch. So, and that's the most powerful in my opinion. So when you combine these together, we're talking about the exact clientele that Vinny would want at his pizzeria. Local customers for a local business, and it'll be repeat business. So let's go back to Vinny here. So Vinny, before we discuss prices, I'll be able to do a free demonstration. All right, so I'm going to show you tomorrow exactly how the system works, and I'm going to show you exactly what the system can do. So give me a promotion that's not on the menu. I will advertise it to only 100 businesses in the area, and I'm going to inform them about your promotion. So Vinny says meatball parmesan sandwich, $2.50, and we will put it for, let's say, tomorrow. Okay, so I'm like, all right. So this is what we do. We simply go back to our phone broadcast system here, and I reduce the dial rate to only 100 calls per hour. Because remember, I'm only calling about 100 businesses in every direction of the pizzeria. And what Vinny would see is that here comes Donovan from the barbershop, and he says, we had a call about a special, and we would like a couple of those heroes. Here comes Tom from the local gym, and he would also like a hero. Nancy's not far behind from the hair salon, and she would like a sandwich as well. Okay. Here comes Timothy from the doctor's office, and he would like a special. So Vinny would have anywhere from 10 to 15 new customers solely because of the broadcast, and he can track it because they're asking about a special that's not on the menu. So Vinny calls me back. Vinny says, "This is excellent. I see that this works." And I had about 10 to 15 customers came in. So I would like to increase this and call 15,000 businesses at lunchtime. I would like my pizzeria to be completely flooded. Okay? So this is where we make money. Bring up the calculator here. Now for Vinny, if he wanted to contact that many businesses at lunchtime to inform them about his lunch special, then we're gonna do a charge every time for that broadcast. So let me pull that up here. And the good thing about this is that when it comes to Vinny's Pizzeria, we are doing a free demonstration, and then we allow him to call us back. We never call back. So we allow Vinny to call us back, and he lets us know what he wants to do. And here's my calculator. So this is what we'll do. It's going to cost Vinny $400 per broadcast every time that he would like to do that broadcast. Now, it would cost me about $7 for the phone time. So if I was to call 10 to 15,000 phone numbers, it would cost me about $7. So we minus 7 from that. We're looking at a rate of $393 profit. Now, the individual that shared this strategy to me at the time, 3 months ago, he already signed up 18 pizzerias at a rate of $393 per week. So we multiply this by 18. And at that time, he was making $7,000 a week. Now he's making anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a week now. He has about 30 businesses signed up, charging them a weekly rate every week. So the question is, in New York, or even in your local town, how many restaurants are there? You would have to assume at least anywhere from 10 to 30,000 if you're in a large city. Small city, 10 to 15,000. So let's say we take New York State. And we know there's over 30 or 40,000 restaurants in New York State. Now, the question that he asked me when I was asking about the strategy, so out of 40,000 restaurants, do you think it's unrealistic that you can enroll only 50 restaurants out of 40,000 in this economy? And then he said, remember, with this system, we can call a max rate of 60,000 calls per hour. So we could contact all 40,000 of those pizzerias, or restaurants rather, in one day. But do you think it's unrealistic you can enroll 50 restaurants out of 40,000? I said, of course not. In fact, when you do the math, that's less than 1%. So let's say you only had 50 restaurants out of 40,000 and you charge them $400 a week, then you'll be making $20,000 a week. Okay, so 50 times $400 a week, you're looking at $20,000 a week. Multiply by 4, you're looking at $80,000 a month. multiply that by 12, you're looking at $960,000 per year, with only 50 restaurants out of 40,000. But let's take this a step further. Let's say you was only able to enroll 7 restaurants out of 40,000. And let's say you charge those restaurants $400 a week for that advertising. You're looking at $2,800 per week. Multiply that by 52 weeks in a year, you're looking at $145,000 residual. And the reason I say residual is that, of course, if you was Vinny and you went from selling 16 pieces at lunchtime to 82 pieces at lunchtime, is there a possibility you may want to repeat that result the following week? Of course. You're going to repeat it every week. In fact, that's the only marketing you'll have to do, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. These owners are just using our service as their only marketing, no paper coupons, no newspaper ads or everything, and they're seeing more revenue at a faster rate than any of those advertisements combined, and we're able to give them an affordable price. So every week, we are charging the business owners for the service, for their advertising. So this is what happened. Bottom line, I enrolled this restaurant personally. Now I'm charging Vinny $800 per week, and he is one of the premier pizzerias in that area of Brooklyn by far. So $800 a week, and plus he's also in a high clientele area as well, which you want to factor that in. And I make 100% of the profit. I also moved on and enrolled my next pizzeria on the other side of Brooklyn, $500 a week. And what we did also is that we decided to take the strategy further, and since it was February, we said, let's see if we can work with the florist as well, and it was very successful. So I was able to enroll my first florist in February, and also my second florist as well in Queens, New York, which is my hometown. So altogether, I was able to generate $6,600 in February from signing up businesses at a weekly rate of advertising, not including the revenue I generated by selling the system, which is mentioned in the ad, and I'm going to cover a little bit later. And this is residual income for me. You remember, these business owners are going to want to continue advertising, and especially the florists coming for Mother's Day. So that's $6,600 I don't have to worry about that's coming to me every week. And again, we make 100% of the profit of this as well. So next month, move on, we also looked at a diner in Los Angeles. Here we have Glenn's Diner. And so if this works for the pizzerias, why wouldn't it work for the diners as well? I was able to sign up a diner, $750 a week, and this is in Los Angeles. But what I'm most proud about is the car wash that I was able to enroll about 2 or 3 weeks ago. This car wash, what's interesting is that, as I mentioned here, depending on the owner, you may be able to contract them for multiple broadcasts in advance for 2 or 3 months. And this business I contracted 2 months in advance. So what was interesting about this car wash is you see it's a very large car wash, and it was already doing pretty well before I contacted him, but there is stiff competition in Los Angeles for car washes, and he wanted to have an edge on them. So after I was able to do my demonstration, then I let him know that, okay, now if you would like these broadcasts, you would have to commit to this certain number of broadcasts to move forward. That's just how it is. So he had no problem with that, and I was able to make $7,200 up front, and was able to contract him about 2.5 months in advance, which is excellent. And this is exactly where we're going with this. We will be now looking to just contract pizzerias, small business owners, multiple weeks in advance after they see how the system works. And one thing we make it very clear is that, look, if you was to get started with my firm, Lamar Marketing, and let's say you wanted to work with us, then we would not work with any other car wash in your region. You're the only car wash I would work with in your region, because I want you to have something unique, and I want you to be the premier car wash. But if you choose not to get started with us, no problem. but we will be moving forward to the other car wash down the block. And what that means is that your competition could have this technology. My question to you is that if we were to move to another car wash in your area and they're able to utilize this technology, then what would be your strategy to stay competitive with the services that we have? And we always let them know that, and they don't have an answer for it. So altogether now, I was able to generate, now I'm looking at 10 to 12,000 residual every month from signing up businesses. So that's one way you can make money, is signing up businesses for a local rate. You can charge them any rate that you like, and you can pretty much become your own advertising firm, if you will. And that's exactly what I've done. So that's one way to generate income. Let me touch on the second way. Second way to generate income is selling leads. Now, let me go back here. Now, of course, the advertising and marketing, for me, has been the most profitable, but there's another way you can also sell leads. So let's say, for example, you use this system to generate leads for the foreclosure firms. One of our members of our team, he's very good at selling leads. All he did was call 2,000 of those foreclosure firms and left a simple message on their voicemails. And it said, hello, I was searching online to find firms involved in foreclosures. They may be interested in having fresh leads sent to their office each day or each week of individuals who are facing foreclosure. Now, in my search, I came across your email address, and I was wondering if this may be of interest to you. If having fresh foreclosure leads with working telephone numbers does interest you, could you apply by email or give us a call? Sincerely, Mike Forrester. P.S. Unlike our competitors, we never sell the same leads over and over again. So this is how this worked. After he left those 2,000 voicemails for those businesses, he had anywhere from 20 to 25 interested professionals in those firms that wanted to hear what he had to say. About 20 to 25 voicemails. And the first individual he spoke with, he said, now I have your email, and I'll have your voice message, and I would like to know how much do you charge for your leads. So the gentleman chose $5 a lead. He said, well, I usually purchase allotment of 500 to 1,000 leads. So if I purchase 500, what kind of discount can you give me? So first of all, he made it clear that all of our leads are fresh. From the time we extract them to the time they're in your hand, remember, 15 minutes old. We're not talking 30 days old, 60 or 90 days old. We're talking about 15 minutes to 1 hour old. So they're very fresh. Second, we're not going to sell a list that we already sell to a previous owner. So he did a go-to meeting, as we're doing right now, and he simply showed that any list that we have, we can click delete, and you see that list is gone. So this was that he was able to demonstrate right on the screen that all we have to do is delete the list, and it's gone. He also made it clear that since this first time we're doing business, he gave him an additional 10% on the house and said, pretty much you have a deal. But before they went ahead with the extraction, he also took the time to show him the leads. Now, if you know lead companies never show you the leads ahead of time. You have to pretty much purchase them and hope for the best. But we see here a screenshot of some of those leads, and we see how we have the websites neatly put in the middle here. And we have the phone number on the left as well. And we have also emails and a name, which was on the official list that, if you recall, we delete. But this is a copy of a piece of it. So once he showed these leads to that prospect, the gentleman was very impressed that he was able to see the leads ahead of time. Long story short, did a bank-to-bank transfer that member was able to make $2,500 in one day. And that's with selling leads. And from what I hear, pretty much every month since November, that same prospect has been purchasing $2,500, I believe. I think it's now $3,000 worth of leads every month. So we see how we're talking about residual income with that as well. So I would say that is the second most popular way on this team. is to sell leads, and you can do that, and again, you would make 100% of that profit. Last way to make money is selling the system. Now, of course, you responded to an ad that said you can earn anywhere from $300 to $900 a day working from home. So if we see here, you have the right with LeadNetPro to also resell the system. There are many professionals, business owners that need this system. And if they were to go to your website that's provided by LeadNetPro, you have the right to resell it, and you would earn a $300 commission every time. So the company would earn $97, and you would earn $300. And the company does not write any checks. Meaning that every time you was to get a sale, this company called First Data will transfer the $300 right to your checking account in 24 hours. First Data is the largest merchant service company in the world. So that's why the ad said get paid daily, and it also said that you can that these commissions are wired to you immediately. Okay, so just to illustrate that point, let me go to my back office here and show you what I mean. And it looks like I have to log in again. Okay. Now we see here it says using link point. We have a special program with First Data where you can set up your own merchant account at a massive discount. Normal merchant accounts cost anywhere from $100 to $400. Well, with LeadNetPro, you can receive your own merchant account for free, and they can have it normally set up between 24 and 48 hours. And if you click the Get Started Today, it takes you off of our site to the First Data corporate webpage where it says accept credit cards for your LeadNetPro sales. Right on the top of the screen here. And you fill out your information, sign up, and that's pretty much it. And as we see here, that's the First Data Corporation. Okay, so that's how we're able to get paid on a daily basis. When you make a sale, you make the money instantly, $300 to your checking account, right out the bat. Now, the thing about this is that when you sell the system, if you recall, the ad said that there'll be no cold calling. And that's because we do advertising all across the country. And we advertise to two individuals. We advertise to businesses that need leads and sales professionals that would like to generate more income. These are some of the professionally made ads that our company is nice enough to design for us. We don't have to worry about the marketing at all. It's already done for us. Okay. So we have here the different ads. There's also one more ad here. Let me click out. So when individuals see our ads and they call the phone number on the ad, then we have a company that takes those phone calls and reroute them back to you. And the company that does that for us is called Virtual PBX. What they do is they take all the phone calls that live prospects are calling in about, either to learn about leads or for a new opportunity, and these calls are rerouted directly to you. And the way that we do that is all you simply do is log into your Virtual PBX. You see here it says log in right here. All you would simply do is go to your back office just like you would check your email, and you'll notice that your name will be on the list. Well, all you do is check your name, and that means you're ready to receive calls. Uncheck your name, and you won't receive any calls. So you have complete control and the autonomy to control how many calls come in per day and how many sales you would like to make. The advertising is already done. You just have to receive the calls. And again, these are live people that are warm and they would like more information about what you have. And from there, you would do a simple presentation and show them. So selling the system is not really my priority, because my priority is to continue to sign up local businesses, and I would like to bump this up to $50,000 a month. In fact, my goal is to sign up 100 restaurants at a rate of $400 to $500 a week and be earning anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 per month. And I plan to do that by the end of this year, December 2011. So that's my goal. But when I started, I also sold the system as well. So just to show you here, and pull up the income statement here. So these are my earnings for February. Now, I spent about 2 days helping individuals obtain the system a week now, and what I've done is I spend all the other days doing my restaurant broadcast. But this is before what I used to do. Before I dedicated most of my time doing restaurant broadcasts, I would spend about 3 hours a day on the phones taking the inbound calls. So I was able to make $11,000 in February. We have February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We have 600, 300, 300 here. So we see that selling the system. And then one of the monthly reports for February, this is in blue, which was a solid week for me. And if we was to add that up here, and pull up the calculator again, pull this up. Now, some people make more, some people make less. It depends on the focus. Some people never sell the system and just sell leads all day, and they also advertise for local businesses, or they use the system for their own primary business, and they make money doing that. So whatever way is fine. But this is when I was selling the system mainly. So we had 900 plus 300 plus 6 plus 15 plus 9 plus 9. Okay. So I was able to generate $5,400 that week. These are days that I took the day off. Okay. And most days I would average at least $300 a day. And then some days, even like this, $1,800 that day. Just doing simple presentations and showing what the software can do. So now I hired 2 secretaries, and I have them doing my restaurant broadcasting for me. And I also, as far as that strategy is concerned, I just get on the phone and close those owners after my secretaries have already laid the foundation there. So that gives me more time to sell the system as well, but now I only sell the system maybe 2 days a week, and I spend the rest of the week with my secretaries working with the local businesses and signing them up for a weekly rate. But this was my last month of doing calls every day, and this is what you can do. If you do decide to sell the system, then there's definitely money available with that as well. So let me exit out here and go back. So what I did today is we covered a lot, and we covered there's actually 3 ways to utilize yourleadnetpro to generate income. And let me just recap here and pull this up. So we talked about how you can advertise for local businesses and charge small business owners a weekly rate for doing the phone broadcasting. We also see that you can sell leads and make 100% of the profit on your own deals. And we also learned how you can sell the software. Earn $300 for every sale, taking inbound calls, and of course, getting paid daily. So the question you have to ask yourself is, do I see that I can generate income in any one of these 3 ways? Which one makes more sense to me? Which one caters to my expertise and my skill set? Which one of these would fit best for my lifestyle? Okay, which one of these will bring me closer to my financial goal and what I'm looking to do? Everybody's different. I tell you right now, most of my team members were focusing on this. Okay, we're focusing on this, and we do this part-time, selling the software. We do this full-time, signing up local businesses. So we let selling the software take care of the bills. We let advertising for local businesses allow us to start generating wealth. And selling leads is always in that as well, if you choose. So we're in a recession-proof business. As we see, when it comes to local businesses and leads, those are 2 industries that are never going to go away. And actually, the worse the economy is, the better for us. Because if you don't have leads, you don't have customers. And of course, you must advertise. We're involved in both of the industries, and that's why we are able to tap into the money that this gentleman was able to capitalize on with Groupon, which is to help local businesses generate income. And this allows us the opportunity to generate just a piece of that wealth, and we can benefit from that as well. And we can tap in to this new gold rush of helping small business owners as well. So what I would like everybody to do now is that you was either invited to this call by one of my team members, you was either brought here by an ad on Craigslist or some of our newspaper ads. I think we have a couple of them out in the sales magazines, small business magazines. You may have responded to them as well. Either way, either give me a call directly or call back the individual that invited you to this call. And they'll let you know more information about how to get started. Let us know if this is the right firm for you. Ask us any questions so we can make sure that you make an educated decision as well, that this is something that you would like to be a part of, and you would like to be a part of what we have here. Now, what I would like to do is, before that, we have a couple of people, directors, on the line, and I want to just have them come online and they'll just share a little bit about LeadNetPro. I have some important information to share quickly about how we get paid as well, and we'll wrap it up. So just bear with me one moment. And I think, Mr. Bishop, if you'd like to come on the line, feel free to do so.
Can you hear me? This is Bishop.
I hear you, Bishop. Yeah, go jump right in.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I come from a very strong business background, and as soon as I saw what LeadNetPro had to offer from just a product standpoint, it really blew me away, and I knew immediately it was a win-win situation because actually, I kind of ironically, but I was already spending almost $20,000 a week in advertising and generating leads for my business. So I knew that the product was solid, and it was a product that would withstand the test of time, because it doesn't matter what the economy is doing, like you guys said at the beginning of this overview. Leads are the backbone of any business. I bought it immediately, jumped into the program. I started doing some marketing, not only with the company and the way that the sales department has it structured, but I also started doing some marketing on my own. And within my first 8 phone calls, I had made $600. I had another $1,200 day just the other day. There's a lot of mornings before 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning where I've already made $300 or $600 for the day, and I'm just doing this part-time. I still have my other business ventures going, and in fact, I had almost 2 weeks off this past month in January, and I still did over $5,000 for the month. So it's been absolutely amazing for me to plug in with such a strong, solid product and a strong, solid system set up in place for you to succeed. It's really a turnkey system where you just pretty much put the key in and turn it, and you're off and running. So thanks a lot.
All right.
All right, Abasi, feel free to jump in as well, Abasi.
Working with small businesses. Actually, my background is really in graphic design and branding, and I have a lot of small business clients that I work with to help them brand themselves online, to help them do marketing and promotion. But really, if you think about it, all the marketing and promotion that you do is really just to generate what? Leads and more customers. So if you're not doing your marketing and promotion correctly, then you're failing or you're wasting money. So when I saw LeadNetPro, in my mind, I was already thinking about the possibilities that it could have for my current clientele. Okay, I was already thinking about, man, we're doing a lot of marketing and promotion for them, but what if I could just provide the raw lead straight to them and bypass steps 1 through 3? See, guys, what you're looking at is you're literally looking at a system that, number one, has convenience. And I like to say this: anytime you can add convenience to somebody's life, then you're right there at the point of becoming seriously wealthy, because people love convenience. So anyway, it was just a perfect fit for my current clients that I had. Now, long story short, there was the ability to start marketing and taking calls to start selling the software. So I said, you know what? Let me see if I can do this. So I set up some of my funnels. I went to some of the trainings, and I got every piece. I mean, literally, the training laid it out in every practical step for me, from A to Z, exactly how to set everything up. Once I got everything set up, I was off and running. And long story short, guys, in a nutshell, this has been very, very lucrative for me and my family. I can't tell you the support mechanisms that are in place. And if I could give you any advice at this point, it would be not to judge the messenger, but to simply judge the message. You're looking at a company that's solid. You're looking at something that's not just a luxury so far as something that people want, but we're talking about a commodity here, guys, which is something that people need. So if you had ownership of that, you would be able to control the production and the output of it. And whenever you can control production and output, you are completely in control, and you are running and steering the ship. So with that, I just welcome everybody, and I just thank you. Thanks for letting me talk. I'm going to give it back to you.
Okay, appreciate that, Bishop and Abasi. Appreciate your input on what LeadNetPro has done for you as well. I'm also seeing here Tony. You can feel free to jump in.
This is Tony.
Hey, how you doing, Tony? All right, and let me just make sure I got you set up here. All right, and go ahead.
Hey, just to give perhaps another perspective about somebody looking into this, I know for me, back in October, I had kind of a surprise life experience at the end of last year where, working as a VP of Client Relations in corporate America for a corporate wellness solutions provider, it was a great income, and it was awesome because I got to work from home, which I learned to love. And but the end of October, through a series of transitions in our company, we had some venture capitalists come in and decide they want to do a little bit of house cleaning and restructuring, and my name was on their list. And at the end of the year, I come into the holiday season with a family of 5 and no income, and found myself on the tail end of the year, you know, just having to pursue or continue forward without having the security of a job and an income. And I just made a vow back then that I was not ever going to allow that to happen again. And so, you know, as things would play out, my steps came across this opportunity, and I am so blessed, so glad that I happened to come across this way, working with great people who are just real champions in the business. The business itself is just amazing by way of the support, the structure, and the care that they have for their people. It has just been a real wonderful experience. And so, you know, I like to look behind the scenes when I get involved in things. You don't hook yourself up to a product or a company. You're hooking yourself up to people. And it's something you need to take a look at. And I can tell that with this one here, we've got some real eagles that are going to go fly high and take this thing places. So it's been a real blessing to be hooked up with LeadNetPro and the people behind it.
I appreciate that, Tony. And one thing, I appreciate all the directors, actually, for jumping on the call here. One thing, Tony, that you made clear that I see as a very prevailing theme here is training and support. And that actually brings me to a good point here. We have 24-hour training all day. And we do 24-hour training by webinar, the same way that all 106 people are right now on this call. So all you have to do is simply plug into those trainings that we have every day. You would also plug into the trainings that we have with the owner himself. He has corporate trainings on Thursdays. Those are excellent, and he shares us exactly the top strategies that other people are using this system to generate money. And then we also have training on Saturdays and Sundays, and that's not including the 24 hours of video training in the back office. And what I mean by that is that I like the fact that the company has took the time to make sure that not only we have access to me and other people on the team, but you don't have to be depending upon anybody. If you go back here, we have multiple videos on how to do your phone broadcasting, how to set up your campaigns. And this is actually a piece of the owner himself speaking about the training that is available here.
LeadNetPro's phone broadcasting platform brings the latest technology available in phone broadcasting to your fingertips. And we also do it with a user-friendly interface. However, there's so many different types of campaigns that a marketer can turn around and create. For instance, you can create a broadcast campaign to simply drive traffic to your website. You may want to capture just a simple name and phone number off of an outgoing message. You may want to do live call transfers. Again, all these options are available through LeadNetPro's phone broadcasting platform. And because of the options that are available, we have taken the liberty to turn around and create several tutorials for our members to turn around and go through at your leisure time to learn how to use this phone broadcasting system. Again, it's a very simple and easy system to use, but these tutorials are going to walk you through literally step by step. Even if you're a beginner, you're going to be able to follow along. It's going to walk you through step by step on setting up different types of campaigns and getting your campaigns up and running with your LeadNetPro system. It's recommended that regardless whether you're a beginner or an advanced phone broadcasting marketer, you should take the time to go through these tutorials, as it's going to explain a lot of information. And by the time you're done with these tutorials, you're virtually going to be able to put together any type of marketing campaign that you need with our phone broadcasting platform. Now, besides the tutorials, we also do have directions listed on what the features are within our platform. So as we always say, below the tutorials, everybody always just likes to watch the videos, but the information is also listed below the tutorials too, so you can read it and print it out if you want to. Again, take the time, go through the tutorials, and see the different types of campaigns that you're able to put together through our platform, and you're going to be amazed at the types of campaigns that you're going to be able to put together for your marketing efforts.
So Dan Miller goes in detail with every aspect of how to do this business, every aspect on how to extract leads, how to do phone broadcasting, have scripts provided. Everything's already provided, and that just goes to show the kind of support that we have here. So this is what we want to do. We want you to get back to the person that invited you to this call, get back to that director, or you can actually give me a call directly. And here's my information here. And call me directly after this call. I want to answer any questions that you may have. I know there are also some questions in regards to the phone broadcast and maybe some questions about different ways you can use the system. And we're more than happy to explain that and to show you exactly what to do so that we can share with you exactly how to make money here with LeadNetPro. And we certainly like to have you on the firm as well. So that's a wrap. I'm going to go back up here. Okay. And I want to thank Bishop. I want to thank Abasi for being on the call as well. Tony, thank you for your input here. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to come to this webinar in regards to LeadNetPro. My name is Lamar Gilman III, Executive Director, and everybody have a blessed evening.